Hey Venture, I'm Schelli Testimony. I've had the opportunity to meet so many of you, and I get to share a little bit of my story. Diving right in, I'd like to roll back the clock 9 years. I'm 25 years old. I've been married to my husband John for 5 years. Life was good. Over several weeks, he didn't look quite right. He started losing weight, and he looked a little gray. Then the bloody noses started. And I remember telling him, you should go see a doctor. That Tuesday, right before he went to work, he was standing at the counter. And then he was laying on the floor. He completely passed out. And we heard the diagnosis, leukemia. I was told that he was so healthy and so strong that he would breeze through chemo. And so we started chemo in September of 2011. Carrington wasn't even 1. 10 days into chemo, John's body completely shut down. The doctor said, if there's any family that would like to see John, they should come in now. I said, come in now? And he said, I'm not entirely sure that John is gonna make it. I said, God, if you let me keep him, we will never stop telling people of your goodness. We will spend every moment of every day telling people what you've done and who you are. And then a part of me broke. And I said, but even if you don't, I will never stop telling people who you are. I will never stop telling people what you've done and that you're good. And I cried. John made a complete and absolute miraculous recovery in 2012. We enjoyed 7 months of healing. Our rallying cry as I blogged and shared pictures, as John spoke to groups, was God hears and God heals. And God heard and God did. And we found out that he had relapsed. The tough part about his relapse was that I sat at a keyboard trying to explain to the thousands of people who had prayed for his healing alongside us that our story wasn't over and that it didn't entirely make any sense. I believed that we would meet this with the same intensity as we had the first time, and that we would just pray for healing and that it would happen again. In November of 2013, after realizing and accepting that John was terminal, in a moment that was so much like mine in that family room, he said, if God can use my death greater than he can use my healing, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. At John's memorial, 11 people gave their lives to Jesus, and countless have heard the gospel through his life, through his illness, and through his eternal life in heaven. I wish I could say after those curved balls it all got easy, but now as I look at this holiday season, God has given me a beautiful family, not once but twice, and an amazing story to tell. The story's painful. Even thinking back on those Christmases, I can think to the heartache and the despair, asking God why, and knowing no answer would seem good enough. But what I'm able to tell people is that no matter what your situation is or what the outcome is going to be, because I've walked those 2 roads, I've asked for healing and seen it here on earth. I've prayed for healing, and I know that it was granted in heaven, but not here on earth. But God was the same. God was faithful. God is faithful. God was there with me in those moments. God's with me now. There's never a curveball God can't handle.